Recording.
Oh, thank you, Phyllis. Hello, everybody, and
Recording in progress.
To Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes. I'm so excited to be able to come to you once again on Friday as we are bringing empowering information that gives you more insight and knowledge as to what happens within the body, what we need to make sure things are happening, and, answering questions as to why things are going awry. So today on Pharmacist Fridays with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, we are going to be doing more of that. Now, we are a resource for an amazing community. I want to make sure that if you were invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and thank them for inviting you to listen to this program. If you're out on any of the social media channels, any type of video streaming system, and you have the ability to send us a comment or let us know that you are there, please do so. And don't forget to subscribe and follow our channels here on Critical Health News or Daily with Doc. Folks, we're in for a great show today, and it is my honor and privilege to bring to you somebody who was told maybe you're just not Kmart material. And we are so thankful for that because he did more than just want to prescribe a chemical to help people. I would love to bring on the screen with me Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. Thank you for joining us again, Pharmacist Ben.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be wanted.
You are very wanted. Yes.
It's an honor. I take that seriously. I don't take that for granted.
Well, we appreciate you very much.
Well, I appreciate everybody very much. And it's funny, I was on George Norrie yesterday. He always thanks me for what I'm doing. And I always feel like, I get the benefit as much as anybody else gets the benefit. And when you help people, there's nothing more gratifying than making a difference in people's lives. Sometimes I used to live in the city of Denver, and there's a lot of, you may know this, there's a lot of homeless people like there are in many cities. And they're always, they need money. So they're hitting people up for money. And I'll walk downtown and people ask for money. And my first instinct is, no, I don't want to give anybody any money. And then then my better angels kick in and say, all right, come on, you got some extra money, give them some money. And as soon as I give people money and they smile and they're thankful, I feel so good about it. I get the benefit. In the Bible, it says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And what that really means to me is that when you love your neighbor, you're loving yourself. Why? Because when you love your neighbor, your oxytocin goes up, your dopamine goes up, your serotonin goes up, your immune system gets boosted, your parasympathetic nervous system is activated. You get the benefits when you love somebody. So when you love your neighbors, you love yourself, you're actually literally loving yourself because it's your biochemistry that changes. And conversely, when you have road rage, or when you're angry at somebody, or when you're not forgiving them, it's your cortisol that's going up. It's your life that's being shortened. It's your blood pressure that's being raised. It's your immune system that's being suppressed. It's your tissue that's not recovering. So when we're angry at somebody or not forgiving somebody, we're the ones who suffer. And likewise, or conversely, when we love somebody, we give something to somebody, we get the benefits. So thank you for allowing me to have these wonderful benefits every Friday and every day during the week. And it's my honor and great privilege to be able to help people.
Well, that was a great intro because that was something that I suffered with, is holding on to, holding back forgiveness. But you can forgive people and not have that eat at you, even if they don't ask you for forgiveness. And then just like, you know what? I forgive you.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
you
know,
get the benefit.
thank you. Yeah, thank you for that learning moment.
All right.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
letting me. So we're gonna talk about enzymes today, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about enzymes.
And
And
that's
you know,
such,
there's a lot of people that don't even know what they are and
yeah,
what their purpose is.
yeah, that's what I was kind of teasing before we went on the air or on the Zoom, I guess, as saying, what are enzymes? Anybody know what enzymes? And somebody said amino acids, and somebody said molecules, and but really we hear that term all the time, but what are they really? Right?
That's a really good question.
That's a
So
good
I hope that
question, huh?
you're
And
gonna
it's,
give a clear, concise answer, right?
well, I'll give a clear, concise answer, and then I'll explain. Clearly and concisely, they're the single most important class of molecules in the body. The vitamins that we talk about are coenzymes. They support enzymatic activity. They're not enzymes, they're coenzymes. Enzymes are more fundamental. The length of our life is inversely proportional to the amount of enzymes that are in our body. That means more enzymes, longer life. Less enzymes, shorter life, or I should say proportional to the amount of enzymes we have in our body. So the more enzymes you have, the longer you will be alive. Enzymes carry the life force in the body. That is a general description of what enzymes are. They carry the life force in the body. However, specifically, in the body, you have lots of molecules, lots of chemicals, lots of atoms, lots of things happening. And in order for chemical reactions to occur, chemical A has to be proximal, close to, neighborly with chemical B. They have to interact somehow in order for chemistry to occur. So chemistry is A plus B equals C. That's all chemistry is. A plus B equals C. But A and B have to be close to each other to turn into C. How do A and B get close to each other? So you have chemical A, chemical B, they have to somehow interact to form chemical C. But how does chemical A get close to chemical B? The body's big and the chemicals are small. How do they get close to each other in order to interact? I'm going to answer the question in a moment, but does the question make sense? You need chemical A to be next to chemical B to react to it, right?
Right?
It'll spontaneously react here and there, but not enough to create a living system. In order for chemical A to get to chemical B with enough ease and facility, get close to each other, something has to pull them together, right? So for example, you have hydrogen, H2O, water, right?
Mhm.
In order for hydrogen and oxygen to get close enough together to create water, they have to be pulled together somehow. What an enzyme does is it pulls things together. In biological terms, we call it a catalyst. A catalyst is something that speeds up the rate of reactions. It'll happen anyway. Two things will get close to each other to create a third compound anyway, but with accidentally, they'll just bump into each other because there's so many, and the odds are eventually they're going to hit each other. But you can't have eventually hitting each other if you're going to have an organized living system. A living system is very complex. There has to be a system, a way for these chemicals to hit each other. An enzyme is a molecule that has two spaces in it. A space for one molecule or chemical or atom, and a space for another molecule or chemical atom. And the enzyme comes and pulls them together by virtue of allowing these two separate entities to hit in the space. Am I explaining that good? Well, because that's really it in a nutshell. Okay, so you have a molecule here and a molecule there. They need to get together to form a third molecule. Okay, it's like a husband, a man, and a woman. They're going to form a baby, right? An enzyme is a matchmaker that pulls the husband and the wife together so they can make a baby. Did I explain that okay? It pulls things together, and the way it does it, it has a space for a husband and a space for a wife. And it goes around, it finds the husband sits here. It has another space, it finds the wife sits here. And by virtue of its ability to pull things together, it facilitates or speeds up or catalyzes chemical reactions. That's all it does. It's a catalyst. That's the technical term for it. It pulls a husband and wife together so they can make a baby. It's a matchmaker. I just watched Fiddler on the Roof yesterday, or last week. Fiddler on the Roof, they had a matchmaker. She got all the men together and all the women together, and she pulled them together so they can make babies. An enzyme's a matchmaker, pulls the husband on one side and the wife on another side so they can be together, close enough together to make a baby.
So can you relate that to food?
No, I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to go there yet.
Oh,
I want you to see what an enzyme is because there's a lot of confusion. That's a good question. I'm going to relate to food, but I want you to understand this is what an enzyme does. It pulls things together. Okay? Now, there's 3 basic types of enzymes. There's 2 basic types of enzymes in the body. There's 3 basic enzymes in nature, but there's 2 basic enzymes in the body, and they're all related. The 2 basic enzymes in the body, classes of enzymes in the body, are enzymes that make chemistry happen. Those are called metabolic enzymes. Those are enzymes that pull things together so chemistry can happen. Call them metabolic enzymes. And they are the most important molecules in the body by virtue of their ability to catalyze chemical reactions. Without enzymes, reactions would not happen. You wouldn't be alive. There would be no life without enzymes, without metabolic enzymes. There's another class of enzymes in the body called digestive enzymes. And these are what everybody talks about in the world of nutrition, or at least in the longevity world of nutrition when we talk about enzymes. So that's why you asked your question, can you relate to food? Because whenever we hear about digestive, or we ever hear about enzymes, we think of digestive enzymes. Now, in reality, the main class of enzymes is not the digestive enzymes, it's the metabolic enzymes. Yes, the digestive enzymes help us digest our food, but the metabolic enzymes make everything happen. Right? So the digestive enzymes are important. You can't digest your food without them. But the metabolic enzymes make everything happen. And in fact, metabolic enzymes are so important that they're actually used as medicine in Europe. Doctors write prescriptions for metabolic enzymes. So when you're old, or you're sick, or you have some kind of illness, they will write a prescription for a metabolic enzyme to improve your health. Metabolic enzymes improve biochemistry. Okay? Now, the third enzyme is extremely fascinating and related to all this. That's called food enzymes, but just stick that in the back of your head because we're going to get to that in a second. They have 2 major classes of enzymes. Catalyze chemical reactions. They make things happen. They make chemistry happen. Those are metabolic enzymes. They make digestion happen. Those are digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes, think of pulling things together. Digestive enzymes do the same thing. They pull apart foods. They pull apart the molecules in foods so that these foods can be broken down. Digestive enzymes help you break down foods, and they're very important. You can't break down foods without digestive enzymes. And I'm going to talk about digestive enzymes here in a second. But right now, I want to tell you that, hang on a second, someone's calling me. Digestive enzymes require the appropriate pH, acid level. You have to have acid in the stomach, and acid in the stomach works to activate digestive enzymes in the stomach. Not all enzymes require acid. Some require alkaline, the opposite of acid, but digestive enzymes require acid. So with enzymes, digestive enzymes, you always want to make sure that there's acid in the stomach. And a lot of people don't have acid in the stomach, so their digestive enzymes don't work even if they have them. Keep that in mind. I'll talk about that here in a second. The reason I told you about metabolic enzymes is because there's a very interesting relationship between digestive enzymes and metabolic enzymes. When you run out of one kind of enzyme, the other enzyme will make up for it. As we get older and our digestive enzymes are becoming suppressed, or we don't have enough digestive enzymes, we don't get enough digestive enzymes supplementally or in foods, our metabolic enzymes will get shunted over to become digestive enzymes, and you'll run out of metabolic enzymes quicker, and your biochemistry won't work as efficiently. So using digestive enzyme supplements can help you spare your metabolic enzymes for anti-aging and for fighting cancer and for living a great life. So using digestive enzymes supplementally will keep your metabolic enzyme levels high enough that you can have a great life and fight diseases and grow and recover. On the other hand, deficiencies in digestive enzymes will cause your metabolic enzymes to become depleted at a faster rate, and you will age much quicker. Is this making sense? Digestive enzymes taking digestive enzymes exogenously or supplementally will help you save your metabolic enzymes for metabolism. When you don't have enough digestive enzymes, your body will take some metabolic enzymes and use them for digestion, and you'll run out of metabolic enzymes faster. Enzymes are exhaustible. You run out of them. So replacing them through supplements can help you save your metabolic enzymes. Now, throughout evolutionary history, human body's been around for hundreds of thousands of years. You couldn't go to the health food store 100,000 years ago in the African savannah and buy metabolic and buy digestive enzyme supplements. So the way the system is supposed to work is we are supposed to get enzymes from food. These are called food enzymes. This is the third class of enzyme. Remember, so there's 3 classes of enzymes. You have metabolic enzymes, you have digestive enzymes, and you have food enzymes. Food enzymes, eating food enzymes will help you spare your metabolic enzymes, just like taking supplemental enzymes will help you spare your metabolic enzymes. Making sense? You guys, I'm using you, Rebecca, as my canary in the coal mine. I'm watching you, and if you get confused, I'm assuming everybody's confused. Okay, so
we have these enzymes that work throughout the body that get pulled into the digestive system if there's not the enzymes in the digestive system to help break down the body.
Yes, and so you'll lose your metabolic enzymes because they're being shunted to digestion. Throughout history, we didn't really have this problem as badly. But today, almost everybody is subsisting on enzymeless food. Now remember, enzymes carry the life force. So enzymeless foods are essentially dead foods. So most of us are eating today dead foods. And because you look on the ingredient deck or the nutrition facts on your food and you see, oh, it's got protein, oh, it's got vitamins, oh, it's got minerals, blah, 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 blah. You think you're eating a good food because they've added all these things to the food. They can't add enzymes to the food. Enzymes are only in living food. Enzymes are only found in apples and oranges and broccoli and eggs and anything that's not cooked, because cooking destroys enzymes, or all these foods that aren't cooked. Once you cook your broccoli, you lose the enzymes to the extent you cook it, which is why raw foods are so powerful. Although you need a little bit of cooking to release the nutrients or a little bit of steam, the more you cook your food, the less enzyme activity it will have. This is why eating fresh foods is so important. Since 1900 or about maybe late 1800s, we have turned our food supply into a dead food supply through processing, and now ultra processing. And this is a hidden cause of disease that nobody talks about, is our subsistence on foods that don't have the power of the life force via enzymes. Enzymeless food. Even though the food has a nutritional value, like you go to McDonald's and you see the nutritional value on the hamburger, and it'll say, oh, it's got protein, oh, it's got, so much vitamin B and so much magnesium or copper or calcium, whatever it is. There's no enzymes in it, and it's the enzymes that carry the life force. Were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask a question. So you said fresh foods. Is that primarily like fresh fruits and vegetables?
Absolutely. Also eggs. Also yeast.
And eggs.
Yes. Anything, yeast, eggs, oysters, fresh fruits and vegetables, anything that was living. Remember, enzymes carry the life force. So it's in the living things. Dairy, it's in the living things. It's in the things that come from life. The foods we eat today they're not related. They don't carry the life force. They're ultra, processed foods are one thing. That's when you cook a food, you fry a food, you boil it or you steam it or whatever they do in the factory to the food. But now we have ultra processed foods. And this is what most of us are subsisting on, not processed foods, but ultra, extra super duper processed foods where even the components themselves are processed. So we're several steps away from the life force. This is a major cause of illness, a major cause of shortages and longevity, is the fact that we're not eating foods that carry life, that carry the life force. So you have three kinds of enzymes. Enzymes make things happen. They carry the life force. Metabolic enzymes make chemistry happen by pulling things together. Digestive enzymes help you break down food by pulling things together. Food enzymes act to support the digestive enzymes so you can spare your metabolic enzymes.
One more question on that.
Yes.
Okay. So they bring the life force.
They carry the life force.
Yeah, so they carry the life force. When we're looking at like our meats, our beef, our poultry, our
There's no
pork.
enzymes in meat and beef and poultry.
Okay, but you had mentioned fish and oysters.
Oysters, I said. I didn't say fish. I said oysters. Because
Okay.
oysters are raw. Well, if you fry them, I guess, if you cook them somehow. But I'm thinking of raw oysters on the shell, on the half shell. Go. Those are enzymes. You're eating life when you eat an oyster,
Okay.
right? And
So
that life, just like the life of a plant or the life of a human or the life of anything that's alive, is carried by the enzymes. So oysters are an enzyme-rich food because you're eating a living entity. Have you ever eaten oysters?
I have.
I love
But
oysters,
they
right?
weren't raw. They weren't on the half shell.
Okay, well, yes. When
I
you cook
like
them, you
oysters.
lose. When you
So
cook
you
them, you
cook
lose
the
them.
food. You cook
What's
the
that?
food, whether it's meat, fruits, vegetables, whatever, and that takes the life force out of them. Am I understanding that properly?
Absolutely. Enzymes begin to break down at very low heat. Doesn't take a lot of heat to break down an enzyme. And that's one of the
Okay.
reasons why you want to eat your eggs raw. Eggs are another rich source of enzymes, wonderful enzymes in eggs. And when you cook your eggs, you lose those enzymes to the extent you cook them. It's not like instantaneous, but to the extent you cook your eggs, you lose your enzyme. You lose the enzyme power. So this is the theory behind a raw food diet. Okay, is you get the benefit of the enzymes. But just like eating enzyme-rich food will help you spare your metabolic enzymes, taking enzyme supplements will do the same thing. Okay, this is why digestive enzymes are so valuable. There's many reasons why they're valuable, but this is a hidden cause of a hidden benefit to using digestive enzyme supplements is they help you spare your metabolic enzymes for fighting diseases and for living a long life. So when we talk about digestive enzymes, we think about them for the digestive system, but what we want to do is we also want to think about them for overall metabolic benefits, for overall biochemistry benefits, for overall anti-aging benefits. See what I'm saying?
So if you take the digestive enzymes, do they become metabolic enzymes at any time?
They will help you spare your metabolic enzymes, but, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, there are systemic benefits that digestive enzymes give you. In addition to helping you digest your food, they have some very important benefits for the body as a system. Okay, and I'll talk about that here before we finish, but let me talk about them digestive enzymes for digestion. Okay, you can tell an enzyme in biochemistry. Biochemists and scientists always want you to know what they're thinking when they use words. So words are very descriptive and give you a lot of information. In terms of enzyme chemistry, the suffix at the end of a word ACE, A-S-E, refers to an enzyme. So whenever you hear ACE at the end of a word as a suffix, you're talking about an enzyme. In the digestive system, you have three main digestive enzymes. One is called a protease, and that will help your body break down what?
Proteins.
Proteins. And then you have a lipase, and that will help your body break down
Fats.
fats, lipids, correct, lipase. And then you have amylase, which helps your body break down carbohydrates. Those are the three main digestive enzymes: proteases, amylases, and lipases. And if you look on the Ultimate Enzyme supplement, you'll see protease, lipase, and amylase. I'll tell you how much is in there. Now, Youngevity's got another wonderful product that has a lot of metabolic enzymes in it called Truzyme, I believe. It's a true to life product. It's one of Dr. Ari's products called Truzyme. And that one is absolutely packed with metabolic enzymes. There's 15 different metabolic enzymes in there. And then also there's an enzyme that's in the nightly essence called nattokinase. Kinases are very important enzymes. Kinases are metabolic enzymes that help things move. Kine comes from the word kinetic, to move. Kinases help things move. It's a little more complicated than that, but for our purposes, we'll talk about movement, the movement of molecules, kinases. So you have kinases, you have a whole range of metabolic enzymes in the true to life. You have kinases, nattokinase in the nightly essence, and then you have the digestive enzymes, proteases, lipases, and amylases in the ultimate enzyme product. You always want to take your digestive enzymes with acid. Now, they do put a little bit of acid in the ultimate enzymes in the form of something called betaine HCl. You'll see betaine HCl in the ultimate enzymes, and that's a way of making sure that you got a little bit of enzymes to activate, or a little bit of acid to activate the enzymes. Betaine HCl is a wonderful molecule in general. Betaine is a fabulous molecule. It's its own supplement, betaine, and it's involved in something called methylation, which I think we've talked about before. So betaine HCl in the ultimate enzymes, in addition to providing HCl, what is HCl, by the way?
Hydrochloric.
Hydrochloric acid, exactly. So betaine HCl provides enzymes in the form, or provides acid in the form of hydrochloric acid, HCl. But it also provides betaine, which is a great molecule on its own. So you get betaine HCl, multifunctional molecule, but for our purposes here, it acidifies the enzymes. I don't think it's enough. So I always tell people to take a little acid. I used to tell people to take the noni juice, but recently I found out, disturbingly, that there's no more noni juice. So apple cider vinegar will have to do. Apple cider vinegar, by the way, is a wonderful, wonderful supplement for a lot of reasons. Digestive support, but also for its electrolyte content. It's got potassium in there, and it's got some magnesium. It's got some B vitamins. It's just a great, really nice supplement. Yes.
She brought that up.
Lemon juice works too. Someone's asking about lemon juice. Is that a?
Yeah.
Yeah, lemon juice works too. Absolutely.
But since you brought apple cider vinegar up, I've had people say that they drink a whole cup of apple cider
You can
vinegar.
drink as much as you
straight.
want. I think a cup's quite a bit, but it's not going to hurt you. I personally do a swig just in the middle of the day. If you do it on an empty stomach, it kind of gives you a little high, a little buzz. But yeah, it's a cup's quite a bit, but you don't need to do as much, but it's not bad to do a cup. I mean, you're not going to hurt yourself by doing a cup of it.
And drinking it straight, not diluted, is okay.
Yeah, you can do it either way, but I glug it out of the bottle. You can also go to the doctor and get a prescription for hydrochloric acid, literally hydrochloric acid that the pharmacist will make, and you put a few drops in water and drink that down with your meals and with your stomach and with your digestive enzymes. So just taking digestive enzymes, the point is just taking digestive enzymes isn't enough. You got to take it with a little bit of acid. You can also use foods that stimulate the production of acid. There are foods like dandelion greens and horseradish, stomach bitters, gentian. There's various herbs and supplements that you can use that will stimulate the production of stomach acid, and that can also have a beneficial effect on your enzymes, can help activate enzymes. Enzyme deficiencies at the level of the metabolic enzymes will accelerate aging and lead to disease, but enzyme deficiencies in terms of digestive enzyme deficiencies will make it more problematic for you, more difficult for you to break down foods. Especially protein foods, but really all foods. When you don't break down foods efficiently, particularly proteins, chunks of food will go into the intestine. Now, the reason I say particularly protein is because proteins are made up, we all know they're made up of simple building blocks called amino acids. But amino acids don't get turned into protein until they get turned into peptides. So amino acids are like letters. Peptides are like words. And proteins are like sentences. So letters have to go to words and then go to sentences. Letter doesn't just get turned into a sentence, that's to go to words first. Likewise, amino acids don't go to proteins, they got to go to peptides first. And if you don't have enough digestive enzyme power, the proteins will not get turned into amino acids, they'll stay as peptides. And then peptides will go into the intestine rather than amino acids. In other words, words will go into the digestive system instead of letters. The sentences will not get broken down into their letters. they'll get broken down only into their sentences, into their words. Rebecca, am I making sense here? Because I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah, keep going, because I
Okay.
had never thought about that. And that's a great analogy.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, good. So what's supposed to happen is the enzyme, when you have enough enzyme power in your digestive system, those sentences will get completely deconstructed into letters. But if you don't have enough enzyme power, they won't get completely deconstructed. They'll only deconstruct to words instead of letters. Here's where this becomes a problem. Words are unique for every life entity. Mosquitoes have their own words, viruses have their own words, bacteria have their own words, parasites have their own words, elephants have their own words, Rebecca has her own words, AJ has his own words. We all have our own peptides that make us us. Make sense? Peptides are species specific. They're even individual specific. Peptides are what make things the individual entities that they are. Consequently, the immune system, which is our defense system, is always on the hunt for peptides to see if the enemy has gotten into the body. So peptides trigger immune reactions. If you're not breaking down your foods into amino acids effectively, peptides or words can cause immune reactions if they get into the bloodstream. And this is the cause of autoimmune issues. And the cause of many inflammatory and immune issues is enemy peptides or perceived foreign peptides that have gotten into the blood, activating the immune system. So breaking down your foods from using enzymes from sentences to words all the way to letters is very important for preventing inflammatory and immune diseases and illnesses. Complete breakdown of proteins is important to prevent immune activation. So now you have another benefit for digestive enzymes that transcends digestion, and that's to prevent immune and inflammatory reactions. And we find that digestive enzymes have anti-inflammatory properties for that reason. They support the digestive process, they support digestion, they support the complete breakdown of proteins. And this is one of the reasons why proteases are used as medicine in Europe. Another benefit to digestive enzymes, particularly proteases, is they can break up proteins in the blood. Proteins in the blood take the form of clotting and fiber formation. And we find that proteases are anti-clotting, and they can thin the blood. Because these clots and these fibroids are part of the inflammatory process, and inflammation is associated with pain, digestive enzymes, in addition to having anti-clotting and anti-inflammatory properties, have anti-pain properties. After you have a trauma, you fall and you break your leg, or you have a surgical procedure done, clotting is part of the body's healing response. But the clotting has to go away over time, because if the clotting stays, you end up with clots. So what's supposed to happen after you have a wound is you're supposed to clot, you're supposed to inflame, you're supposed to have a little Beaver's dam to protect that area, it's supposed to go away. That doesn't happen for everybody, particularly if they're eating the wrong foods, if they have other inflammatory issues. Digestive enzymes taken on an empty stomach can speed healing by virtue of their ability to break up the inflammatory protein-based clots and clogs that form after surgery or after trauma. So in addition to being anti-inflammatory and blood thinning and anti-pain, they also accelerate post-surgical or post-traumatic healing. These are systemic benefits that are above and beyond the digestive health benefits and added to the sparing of metabolic enzymes. And this is all from a digestive enzyme supplement that is pretty darn cheap, pretty darn inexpensive. You get anti-aging properties, anti-inflammatory properties, blood thinning properties, healing properties, anti-pain properties, and digestive health benefits. all from your ultimate enzymes, as long as you're acidifying them. That's a lot of benefits, right? Now, there's another class of enzymes that they put in the ultimate enzymes, and these are extremely important enzymes that are used to further support digestion in the intestine. And these are enzymes that come from the pancreas. Now, I always call the pancreas Mr. Cellophane, the Mr. Cellophane of organs. Do you ever see Chicago, the movie Chicago?
I did.
Do you remember Mr. Cellophane?
I do.
Remember, you could see right through him. Nobody knew he existed. Mr. Cellophane. I forgot the song. I would sing it for you, but I don't remember how the song goes. Can you sing it, Rebecca?
No.
Okay, I'm just kidding. AJ, you want to sing it for us? No, I'm teasing. So, Mr. Cellophane is nobody knew who he was. That's why they call him Mr. Cellophane. He was transparent. The pancreas is the Mr. Cellophane of organs. Nobody really knows about the pancreas. Yet we do know that pancreatic cancer is the most deadly form of cancer. Why would pancreatic cancer be so darn deadly? Well, the pancreas is an enzyme factory. It's where all the enzymes in the body are made, or where most of the enzymes in the body are made, is in the pancreas. So when the pancreas gets cancer, number one, you don't make enzymes, and we just talked about how important enzymes are for running the body. But even worse, enzymes can explode throughout the body, wreaking havoc on biochemistry when you have pancreatic damage. So the pancreas is an important source of a second type of enzymes called pancreatic enzymes. Pancreatic enzymes have a digestive effect in the intestine, but instead of depending on acid, they depend on alkaline. Like digestive enzymes in the stomach are activated by acid, but pancreatic enzymes are activated by alkaline, non-acid. Really, really quickly, I don't want to talk too much about this, but the pH is a measurement of how acid or non-acid something is. Non-acid is alkaline. So how acid alkaline, some people will say, some people say base, I say alkaline. Acid base or acid alkaline. Acid, the pH scale goes from 0 on one side to 14 on the other. 7 is the middle. Acid is 0 to 7, alkaline is 7 to 14. Digestive enzymes require acidity around 2 or 1, really low acidity. Alkaline enzymes from the pancreas are higher. They depend on enzymes on a pH of 10 or 11. Superalkaline. What's supposed to happen when you digest your food is you eat your food. This is what's supposed to happen. You eat your food, the acid in your stomach activates the enzymes. The enzymes break up the food and turn the food into a soupy mass. That soupy mass is called chyme, and it's very acidic. C-H-Y-M-E, chyme. So you got the food, it gets acted on by the enzymes, and the acid, it turns into chyme, which is now acidic. That acidic chyme drops into the intestine from the stomach, and when it drops into the intestine, the acid in the chyme triggers a burst of alkaline bile. There's a chemical, it's a signal. That acid signals a release, and you get a big squirt of bile. And that bile is alkaline. Bile is very alkaline. And the alkaline bile changes the pH of the acid chyme. And now instead of acid in the intestine, you have alkaline in the intestine, which provides the perfect environment for the pancreatic enzymes, which are getting squirted into the intestine. However, if you're not making stomach acid, which many people are not, number one, you're not going to be able to completely digest your food. Number two, you're not going to trigger the burst of bile to alkalinize the contents of the intestine. And number three, the pancreatic enzymes won't be activated. Are you guys with me? Rebecca, is that too much?
Well,
is this TMI?
No, we're going pretty deep, and some of us love this deep. And AJ's like, come on, bring it, bring it.
Well, this is important because digestive enzymes now, when they're working appropriately now, digestive enzymes are also going to work in the intestine, not just in the stomach. They're going to support intestinal digestion. So you can see that this whole thing, this one supplement, this one digestive supplement has tremendous benefits for the immune system, for the blood system, for inflammation, for intestinal digestion, activation of pancreatic enzymes, in addition to helping you break down your food, right?
So my
And this is
question
all
is,
for pennies a day.
yeah, for pennies a day.
Pennies
That's
a
right.
day. Yes, go ahead.
So my question is, we were talking about pancreatic enzymes and they are alkaline. So is that something that we can take orally?
They're in the digestive enzymes. They're in the ultimate enzymes.
Okay, so
They're called pancreatin. They call them which is really pancreatic juice. It's not just the enzymes, it's a bunch of other things, but it contains pancreatic enzymes. You can buy pancreatic enzymes at the health food store. For patients who have cystic fibrosis, they'll take pancreatic enzymes. Pancreatic enzymes have also been used to treat cancer, especially pancreatic cancer. So pancreatic enzymes are among the most powerful digestive enzymes you could ever take, in addition to the proteases and the lipases and the amylases that you get in the ultimate enzymes. You also get pancreatic enzymes.
So the acidity of the stomach doesn't nutrify them?
No, because the pancreatic enzymes don't go into the stomach. They go into the intestine. They're not going into the stomach.
But if you're taking them orally.
Oh, if you take them orally, yes, that's not going to disturb them.
Okay, I just wanted to get some justification on that for myself.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So those are all the wonderful benefits of the ultimate enzymes, as well as the TrueZyme, the True Life True enzymes. And that's why when we talk about enzymes, we do ourselves and our customers a disservice if we only emphasize digestion, because they play so many different roles in the body, including going as far as to longevity, to increase our longevity. Your ultimate enzymes are longevity promoting, in addition to being important for digestion. They're anti-pain, they speed up healing, they improve blood flow, they improve intestinal health. If you have, we talked about SIBO in the past. Ultimate enzymes can help support or help reduce the symptoms of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. There's so many wonderful benefits to this really relatively inexpensive supplement. It's crazy not to be using it on a regular basis. And of course, one of the best ways to improve enzyme chemistry in the body is to eat as much unprocessed food as you can. And the more you subsist on processed food, the more work your body's going to have to do on its own breaking down that food. According to in nature, when we ate food throughout history, just up until very recently, whenever we ate food, we got enzymes. Even when we ate meat, for a long time anyway, until we learned to cook, we got enzymes. Animals, when you eat a food, when an animal eats a food, when a lion eats a zebra,
it's not cooked.
It's not cooked. It's in other words, the enzymes in the zebra pre-digest the meat for the lion. The enzymes in the animal, in the meat, are pre-digested for the lion to get maximum benefit from the food. Now, nobody's going to be eating a raw zebra here, but you can see how, because we cook our foods, we lose a wonderful source of pre-digestion or enzymes. There are many animals, by the way, called ruminants. Have you heard of ruminants, like cows that chew their cud? They have an extra stomach.
Mm-hmm.
They have a forestomach, a stomach before their stomach that is packed with enzymes that helps them pre-digest their food. And that's how come they can eat grass and we can't eat grass. They pre-digest their food. So they can eat all the grass on the, they can just munch on all the grass and become big and strong because they have this forestomach. That's what a ruminant is. Ruminant has an extra stomach to pre-digest their food with enzymes.
There's a lot.
There's a lot there, but the bottom line is take your digestive enzymes. They're good for a heck of a lot more than just food. That's really the bottom line here, is that your digestive enzymes are supportive of much more than merely digestion. And when we only focus on digestion with our digestive enzymes, we're doing ourselves and our customers a disservice.
All right, folks. So to look beautiful from the inside out, beyond the digestive system, you need your enzymes.
Enzymes and acid.
And acid. Absolutely. And we do have the apple cider.
The gummies, I don't know what the pH is on the gummies. Somebody has to help me with that.
I'll have to find that out.
Yes.
So that would be a good information.
Maybe Doc knows, or maybe somebody knows the pH on the enzyme.
I will find out. Now we do have questions. We have hands up. But the first question that I want to ask is there's
And by the way, let me just say this one thing real quick. Grains are problematic because grains are seeds. And seeds are also problematic. They contain something in them to keep the seed asleep. Seeds are sleeping. Their life, they can turn into a big plant, a tree even, or anything that grows, but they're asleep. And one of the ways nature puts a seed to sleep is with molecules called enzyme inhibitors. So seeds are packed with enzymes, but they're not alive because nature doesn't want them living until they find water and until they find dirt, until they have a good place to grow. So nature has packed seeds with enzyme inhibitors. But when you add water to a seed, you turn it into a sprout. And the difference between a seed and a sprout is the enzyme inhibitors have all been degraded, and now the enzymes have been released. And that makes, while seeds are very problematic, grains and seeds are problematic, sprouts are among nature's most powerful foods because the enzymes have now been released by the water and the sun and the dirt, especially by the water.
So how about flaxseed? And they get ground up.
Now, when you grind up a flaxseed, if you ate a flaxseed by itself, you won't get any benefit. If you grind up a flaxseed, you'll get benefit, but only quickly. Only if you grind it up and eat it quickly. If you grind it up and let it sit, eventually the nutritive values, the nutritional value will be degraded by oxygen and by light if it's in the light. So ground up flaxseed should be ingested fresh. Grinding up seeds on their own probably won't release the enzymes, but if you add water to them, that can release the enzyme inhibitors. That can deactivate the enzyme inhibitors. That's why sprouts are so important. And AJ asked about hemp seeds. All seeds contain powerful nutrients because seeds are life in potential. They're not life. They're life in potential. The water is what releases the life. Now, if you eat a seed by itself, you might get some benefits because seeds are packed with nutritional benefit, but a lot of people have problems with seeds because nature wants its seeds to go into the ground, not to go into your stomach. We're taking advantage of the power of it, but that's not what nature intends its seeds to be. Nature intends its seeds to make plants, not for human beings to have, or animals to eat them. That's why they contain enzyme inhibitors, to keep us from getting too much benefit from the seeds. Nature doesn't want you eating its seeds. That being said, seeds contain wonderful nutrients because they're a life in potential, even though that life force is suppressed. Yes.
So
yes.
With seeds, do they have lectins or phytates?
All of it. Lectins, phytates, these are all anti-nutrients. And they work to prevent, they work for a lot, they do a lot of things. Number one, they keep the life force suppressed so the seed can wait to release its life force to where it's ready to grow. But they also have things like lectins and phytates that lock up nutrients that prevent them from being accessible. They also have molecules that are harmful to organisms like gluten. That's what the lectins are. Why would they have lectins? To keep animals from eating them. The animal will get a bellyache, it won't eat them, or the animal will die and it won't eat them. Or we won't eat them. That's what lectins are. Lectins are defensive molecules. So seeds contain defensive molecules. They contain anti-nutrients like phytates that tie up nutrients, and they contain enzyme inhibitors that keep the enzymes from working. That being said, there are wonderful nutrients in seeds. If you can eat them, the best way to eat your seeds is to sprout them. But of course, that's not always feasible to do. It's a little bit time consuming, but you still get some benefits from seeds if you can handle them. Not everybody can. And a lot of immune problems come from the ingestion of seeds via this lectin mechanism.
I think that's going to be a show all in itself right there.
Lectins?
Lectins,
Yep.
yes.
Put that on the list.
We'll put that on the list. Well, let's go to the first hand that is up. And Phyllis, what question do you
Hi,
have for us
Phyllis.
today?
Hi, I have two questions, and that is fascinating about seeds. By the way, that could be a whole show, I swear.
Okay.
First question, Julie on YouTube says, my friend lost her taste since March, sounds like. She says with certain foods, it tastes like dirt or chemicals. Celery and all dairy products trigger the dirt or chemical taste. What can she do?
Now, did she lose her taste or her smell? Smell and taste go together.
I'm assuming smell, but she didn't mention that.
Okay, so certain infections can cause loss of taste. Certain medications. I want to know a little bit more. That doesn't usually happen with somebody who's completely healthy. Although as we age, our sense of taste is not as sharp. So I want to know some more. I want to ask her some more questions. That being said, one of the signs of zinc deficiency is a loss of smell. So not necessarily loss of taste, but sometimes smell and taste go together. So she might want to consider supplementing with the ultimate zinc. And if she has any kind of other health challenges or she's on medication, we want to address those. That's not a primary, unless there's some damage to the taste buds. That's not a primary issue. That's secondary to something else. And I want to ask her other questions. COVID is notorious for causing a loss of smell, as well as sometimes a loss of taste, which is related to loss of smell. Gum disease can do it. Salivary gland infections can do it. Respiratory colds and flus and such, that can do it. I want to ask her some more questions. Sometimes diabetes and obesity can cause a loss of taste, so I want to ask her about that. And then also Sjogren's syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease that affects the salivary glands, that can do it. And then if she's a smoker, that can sometimes do it as well.
I wonder if certain medications would do that.
Absolutely, there's medications that can do that. And that's kind of a generic effect of particularly antihistamines. High blood pressure medicines can sometimes do that. Cancer medicines can do that. I've heard of lithium doing that.
My other question is, are we harming the body's ability to produce enzymes if we consume enzymes or too many enzymes?
No, your body won't suppress its own. I know what you're saying.
Excellent. That is good to know. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Back to you, Becca.
All right. Those are great questions. Thank you, Phyllis, because a lot of people say, they're really concerned about overdoing nutrients.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with enzymes. That can happen with certain hormones, but it's not going to happen with enzymes.
All right. And let's go to AJ. AJ, you have a question?
Ben, wealth of information. I'm thrilled to be around you and Dr. Wallach and just being able to absorb all this info. It's fantastic. Quick question. Well, a question. A woman asked, her son is on anticoagulants, and the doctor's saying no vitamin K. So she's afraid to take the tangerine.
Well, look. First of all, if you go to it, and I know I said it before, but I like this metaphor, so I'll say it again. If you go to a carpenter, he's going to give you he's going to use a hammer and nail. That's what they do. They use hammers and nails. If you go to a car mechanic, he's going to use a wrench, right? He's going to use different tools. Carpenter uses nails and hammers. Car mechanic will use a wrench. If you go to a carpenter to fix your engine, he's going to try to use a hammer and nail, and he's going to mess up your engine because you don't want to use a hammer and nail on your transmission. Likewise, if you go to a doctor, you're going to get drugs, and he's going to tell you not to use a wrench, which is a vitamin K. So you do whatever your doctor says. That's your business. That's everybody's business. That's everybody's right. They should go with whoever they go to. You're paying money to go to a doctor, and you have an agreement. You have a de facto agreement. You don't have an official contract, but you have a de facto contract that says, I'm going to do what you say. That's your business. That being said, the stupidity of saying not to take vitamins from a nutritional perspective is epic. It's indescribably idiotic, to not say to take vitamins, for a nutritionist, because your body doesn't run on drugs, it runs on vitamins and other nutrients. But you're going to a carpenter, so he has his own tools. He doesn't understand the tools. The blood thinning system, or the blood flow system, is a balance of thinning and thickening. Blood is a gel. You know, if you ever see a lot of blood, God forbid, if you were to ever see an accident where there's a bunch of blood or a horrible blood scene, blood is impossible to get rid of. That's how they catch murderers, because they find the blood. They think they clean the blood up, but it's all over the place, because blood is a thick gel. I should say thick. It has a thickness to it. And that thickness, that gel, is tightly regulated, and the body is constantly controlling the thickness and the thinness of it. It's constantly regulating it and controlling it. And the blood thickening system is tightly regulated. It's maybe the most tightly regulated biochemistry in the body is the blood thickening and thinning system. Under conditions of duress, the blood will thicken. Why? Because to the body, one of the main duresses is loss of blood. You get bitten by a tiger, you get eaten by a wild animal on the African savannah. In order to keep you from bleeding all over the savannah, the blood will clot. It will thicken. Thickening is a defensive response to trauma, to lack of nutrition, to toxicity, and to lack of oxygen. Okay? It's a defensive response. When your blood is thickening, whether that's thickening is showing up as blood clots, or whether it's showing up as poor circulation, whatever way it's showing up, when it's thickening, it's a sign of duress. Now, this person likely had a surgical, did you say they had a surgical procedure?
Not only that, but yes, I can.
Okay, after a surgical procedure,
a lot of stress.
When you're laying on the operating table and you have a surgical procedure done, your body doesn't know you're on planet Earth in the year 2023 having a surgical procedure. Your body thinks it's on the African savannah and it just got eaten by a tiger. So it doesn't know about surgery. Your body doesn't know about surgery. It's just protecting you from bleeding all over the African savannah. So your body clots after surgery. That's one of the things the body does in response to trauma. It clots. So what do they give you after surgery? Heparin, which is a major blood thinner. Heparin is a blood thinner. So they don't want you to clot. Now, this person, I don't know if you said he's had surgery or you said he's under duress, has thickening blood. Thickening blood is a major response, is a typical common response to toxicity that's getting in from the intestine. We talked about leaky gut, talk about dirty blood. I always say dirty blood because I like the way it sounds. It's graphic. It gives you an idea of what's happening. But really what I'm talking about is clotted blood, clogged blood. So toxicity from the digestive system is a major cause of clotted blood. Stress is a major cause of clotted blood. Lack of oxygen through inflammation or poor respiration or elevated stress hormones, all is a cause of clotted blood. Dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar, is a cause of clotted blood. Pretty much all the things that go wrong in the body are mediated through thick, sticky, clotted blood, whether it's toxicity, lack of oxygen, sugar, stress, trauma. All of these cause the blood to thicken. The body, when it wants to thicken the blood, it will thicken the blood. It says, I don't care about you, AJ. I'm going to thicken because that's my evolutionary mandate, to thicken. I see stress, I see toxicity, I see a lack of oxygen, I see poor nutrition, whatever it is, a trauma, inflammation, I'm going to thicken. So in order to counteract that, because we're human beings and we're way smarter than the body's dumb. We're the doctor, we're the human. Ha ha ha, I'm in charge here, not you, you stupid body. I have a powerful drug that will thin. You think you're the boss? Wait till you try this warfarin. Wait till you try this Eliquis. We'll see who's boss here. And that's in essence what pharmacology and pharmacy is about. It's about giving the body the finger and saying, I'm in charge, not you. Here's the warfarin. Here's the Eliquis. We'll see who's in charge. Take this Eliquis, and Eliquis forces the body to the blood to thin. And this is why blood thinners are notoriously the most deadly of all the drugs. Notoriously. And you have to, when you're on warfarin or Coumadin, you have to have your blood checked regularly to make sure you're not overdosing, because blood clotting and blood thinning are tightly controlled. Now, the newer ones like Eliquis, those are a little bit more gentle, but they still are forcing the body to do something it doesn't want to do at a very fundamental level. Body, when it wants to control things. It's the body. It's got millions of years of evolution behind it. So it's going to override. It takes a lot to override its will, and that's what blood thinners do. Now, vitamin K is a coenzyme. Remember, I said vitamins are cofactors. They support chemistry. They act like the magical pixie dust that turns on chemical reactions. They don't make the chemical reactions happen. They're cofactors. Vitamin K is a cofactor in the clotting process. It will not cause your blood to clot. That is medical nutritional ignorance. However, above and beyond that medical nutritional ignorance, in other words, I want you to see why it's ignorant. Vitamin K doesn't cause clotting. Vitamin K supports clotting. You don't take vitamin K and all of a sudden your blood clots. Vitamin K supports the clotting process, but it's not going to cause clotting to occur. If the body's not clotting, it's not going to make clotting occur. But here's where it gets really problematic. Vitamin K does many things. It doesn't just clot the blood. It's a major calcium metabolizing substance, calcium processing substance. It acts to keep calcium out of the blood, to keep calcium in the bones, to prevent calcification. So to not take a vitamin because you're trying to stop one process from happening keeps you from all the other benefits of that vitamin. That's what's so stupid. Not only that, vitamin K is an essential nutrient, meaning you can't live without it. So you may get a little bit of vitamin K because bacteria make vitamin K in your gut, but you're not going to have enough vitamin K to be efficiently healthy. And in addition to that nonsense, it's one of the stupidest things they say, but there's something even stupider they say. They say don't eat any broccoli or green vegetables that contain vitamin K. So they will have you not eating any green vegetables because of the little vitamin K that's in there, because they're afraid it might cause clotting when it doesn't cause anything. It's a cofactor that supports clotting. Now that I want you to see how ignorant the model is, don't blame the individual doctor. It's not his fault. It's the paradigm. This is what he's taught. He's not a nutritionist. He's a carpenter. He has a hammer and nail. His job is not to keep you healthy. It's to keep you from dying. And if we're satisfied not dying, and sometimes that's, if we're in a life or death situation, that's a good thing, then go to a doctor. Doctors are not there to keep you thriving. They're there to keep you alive. That's a good thing. Thrival is our business. Survival is their business. They're here to keep us surviving. If you want to thrive, that's on us. That's why we have longevity. Longevity is not here to help you survive. It's to help you thrive, because we believe, and I firmly believe this, we are leaving health on the table. We're leaving longevity on the table because we're satisfied with the lowest bar. We're satisfied with just being alive. But we're leaving the ability to thrive on the table, the ability to have longevity on the table, the ability to be resistant to disease on the table, because we're satisfied with just survival. Is that a bad thing that a doctor's helping you survive? No, it's not a bad thing, but don't expect him to help you thrive. Did I explain that okay about vitamin K?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
and we are over on time, but I have one more important question for you.
Yeah.
And this is coming from Pamela. So Pamela, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. I know you've got a really important question you want to ask.
I do. And my question is along the lines of the last question, but I've already decided that I'm going to go ahead and buy the longevity or the longevity health program. I'm going to buy it and watch my labs. I recently had a kidney transplant.
Okay.
And of course, with that, they don't want you to boost your immune system. Otherwise, it could cause rejection.
Right.
What do you say about that?
Well, you know, a kidney transplant is any transplant is a very serious operation, a very serious medical procedure. So yes, you're right. That's a foreign object in your body, and your body's immune system is going to attack it. So you have to suppress your immune system. That being said, now you're at risk for a suppressed immune system. That means you're at risk for all kinds of health challenges. So the best thing you can do, you don't want to, you are on Sandimmune. What kind of drug they give you?
As far as anti-rejection?
Yeah.
Tacrolimus and 5 milligrams of prednisone.
Okay. So you're going to be at risk for immune problems. So the best thing you can do is strengthen your immune system in 2 directions. Number 1, by avoiding any kinds of foods that put a burden on your immune system, such as the processed foods, nutrient deficient foods, sugar, fried fats, all the things. You have to do all the things we all have to do, but you have to do it with extra vigilance. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, and this is along the same lines as the last question, using nutrition to support immunity is not going to make your immune system attack. If you're on the drugs anyway, it's not going to have your immune system it's not going to make your immune system, it's not going to allow your immune system to override the drug. The drug is way bigger than any nutrition.
Yeah.
It's huge. The drug is like Darth Vader compared to the nutrition, which is your little old grandma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your little old grandma is not going to win a fight with Darth Vader.
Right.
That's not going to happen. That being said, the nutrients like vitamin C and zinc and copper and magnesium, all these immune boosting nutrients are going to help your body improve your body's biochemistry and biochemical functions on many levels, in addition to the immune system. Your drugs are going to take care of immune suppression. You're not going to override that. There's nothing in the world of nutrition that is going to override a powerful immune suppressant drug any more than your little old grandma is going to win a fight with Darth Vader.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Pamela. I'm glad we were able to fit that question in, because there's a lot of people that are having to make that decision of having transplants and then taking these drugs for life.
Transplant
and
is
their doctor telling them that they can't have
transplant is a that's a serious situation, and that's an unusual relatively unusual situation. So you have to do certain things that you wouldn't have to do otherwise, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You're a rock in a hard place. So you had to have the transplant. Now that being said, I'm sorry, what is your name, ma'am?
Pamela.
That being said, the major reason for kidney disease, and I assume you had kidney disease, that's why they transplanted it, is that right?
Yes.
Was it cancer, or was it kidney disease?
PKD.
PKD, okay. So the major cause of kidney disease, Pamela, is what's called dysglycemia, which is messed up blood sugar. So what you could be doing now, because based on your history, you had a blood sugar problem, you should be paying very close attention to your blood sugar and taking great pains and great care to keep your blood sugar stable. That's one of the best things you could do at this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, my blood sugar is in normal range. No,
your blood sugar might be in normal range, but the chemistry that it takes to keep your blood sugar in a normal range might be high. Your insulin chemistry might be high.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that's because insulin's there to keep your blood sugar in a normal range. But if you had kidney disease, you probably had some blood sugar issues. And I don't know did they ever tell you that?
No.
That's the major cause of kidney disease.
Are you familiar with PKD?
Yes.
Okay.
Polycystic kidney disease?
Yeah, it's all through my family.
Yeah, well, it could be, it's not necessarily, hereditary. It's not a heredity thing. It's maybe genetic, it's not heredity. Polycystic kidney disease, the word polycystic means you're making lots of cysts, right? Polycystic, making lots of cysts. Cysts in the body grow in association with 2 biochemical dysfunctions. Number 1 insulin and blood sugar. And number two, estrogen, which is female hormone, right? Those are the two major reasons why we get cysts and why we get fibroids and why we get various growths, including tumors. So if you had PKD, the chances are pretty good you had messed up blood sugar, and you very likely had problems with your female hormones too. And those are both things that you can control, and you probably should.
Right.
And I'm just you look like you may be a high estrogen producer anyway, just based on your body type.
I'm sorry, high what?
Estrogen producer, estrogenic.
Oh, okay.
There's two major hormones, and you can assess how whether somebody is estrogenic, has this predisposition by looking at the body type.
Oh.
And when you get good at it, you can do it pretty quickly. And that's something all health coaches should be able to do, to assess whether somebody is estrogenic, high female hormone producer, or androgenic, male hormone producer. And it has nothing to do with being a man or woman, by the way. There are women who are androgenic, and there are women who are estrogenic. There are men who are estrogenic and men who are androgenic. And in our culture today, there are a lot of chemicals that we interact with in the form of pesticides and cosmetics and sunscreens and in the water that act like estrogen, that shunt us over into the estrogenic side of things. In addition, body fat makes estrogen. So the more body fat we carry, the more estrogen we're going to be making. Okay. And so there's a lot of things in our culture that lean us towards the estrogenic side of the equation, particularly as we get older, especially for men. I call that the Santa Claus effect, where men from being tough and rough and lions into Santa Claus, fat and jolly.
Right.
For women, it can cause reproductive issues, fibroids, endometriosis, cysts, fibromyalgia, cancers, etc. So estrogenicity is a big problem, and we're out of time. I mean, we're way over time on this. Maybe we can talk about it some other time. Essential for women who want to know, your ultimate EFAs are one of the most powerful tools you can take to balance out your hormones. Okay. Thanks, Pamela.
Thank you very much.
I am way late for a meeting.
Yes, sorry about
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you so much, Ben. And
Thank you.
folks, another great show. And we've got a lot of notes that I've taken to have future shows with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. So if I could just get my team on with me, and I know, Ben, that you need to go.
I need to go. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye, fellas. Bye, AJ.
Bye.
Bye, Becca. Bye, Pamela.
Bye-bye. And lots of information, and we've had lots of comments here in the chat, within the Zoom, out on YouTube and Facebook, saying remarkable, life-changing information, great information. Thank you. A really good show. This is great. I love Pharmacist Fridays. So do I. I love every day, though, folks. Every day that you have the opportunity to bring information that is empowering into somebody else's life. And like Ben said in the beginning, be able to bring a smile to somebody's face. Those are amazing times that really do make a difference in this world. So I just want to, say thank you to my team, because they bring a smile to my face by volunteering their time to help out, because they have the same passion and have the same calling of purpose in their lives. And that is to make the world a better place, to leave people better than they found them. Folks, if that's something that you have upon your heart as well, then please go ahead and let's see, can we get spotlights up again? Fantastic. So, this is the great thing of technology. Everything is just fantastic when it works great. So let me get Marilyn back up here. There we go. Awesome. I just do want to do a shout out and a thank you to Rod Wiggins for coming and stepping in and helping us on the days that we are light-handed in other ways. So thank you, Rod. And we have Phyllis, who is keeping track of things that are going on out on the different platforms and bringing those questions and comments in. Thank you so much, Phyllis, for doing that, and also the chat information that you're putting out in the social media and also here in the chat room. And we have Marilyn, who is doing a great job putting the chat in dictation. So taking those key points and writing out those big words, putting them into black and white text here in the chat. Marilyn does such a fantastic job on that. So thank you so much, Marilyn. And for AJ, who is helping to make sure all of the streaming is going smoothly, getting us out on those different platforms and bringing in questions as well. Thank you so much, AJ. Folks, I couldn't do this without a team. Jesus couldn't get the word of his message of salvation or whatever your belief is. It takes a group, a crusade, to get that information out. That's what we're doing as well. We invite you to be part of this crusade. And if you would like more information about Dr. Wallach and the mission that he's on, he does have his flip chart, the 90 for Life Crusade to Save Humanity, available on his website at drjwallach.com. So folks, have a fabulous day. Share this program with somebody that you know and allow them to be able to make decisions with more information that is empowering instead of being a slave to a system that is failing so many. My name is Becca Dukes. This program was not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are the products meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But folks, when you give the body what it needs, what it really needs, the body itself can do some amazing things. So until next time, visit dailywithdoc.com, sign up for our email list, and we do have a store there as well that has products that are mentioned in this program and all of our programs at dailywithdoc.com. If you have questions and you have never spoken to anybody about longevity or Dr. Wallach or Pharmacist Ben or any of the products, make sure that you reach out to us. Let us help you. Use that contact option and send us an email with your questions. If you have been talking with somebody, get back with them. They took the time and cared enough about you to share this program with you. Until next time, bye for now.
Thank you.